Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to walk you through how to make bias tape to put around the pockets for my quilted chore coat pattern. To begin, I'm going to take my template, spray it with just a little bit of adhesive spray, place it on my fabric scrap. Most important thing to remember about making bias tape is generally you're cutting with the grain of the fabric or against the grain. Based on this arrow, you can see this is where the grain of the fabric is supposed to face. Bias tape is cut diagonal to the grain of the fabric. This 100% cotton fabric stretches pretty minimally parallel to the selvage. It has more stretch perpendicular to the selvage, but it has the most stretch diagonal to your selvage. So bias tape is always cut diagonally to your selvage. I'm going to take my ruler. There's one. Here I have my two bias tape pieces ready to go. I'm going to take my wool pressing mat. Now our next step is to fold our raw edges into the middle and press. Once we've pressed in our raw edges, we'll once again fold it in half and press. Now I have here my finished bias tape with 3 creases. I'm going to set this aside, do my second piece, and then I'll show you how to sew it on to your pockets. I have my pocket with the raw edge turned under according to the pattern instructions. I'm going to take my bias tape, open it up, place right sides together with about 1/2 inch of excess at the top, take my clips and clip it along the edges of my pocket. Now the beautiful thing about bias binding versus a binding cut on the grain is it's going to lay so nicely around these curves whenever I'm done putting it together. I've clipped my binding on. I'm going to take it to my machine and stitch right inside this crease all the way around. You can see my stitch line right inside of that crease. I'm going to take my binding, then for these corners up here, I just turn under the fabric, fold it over, working with the creases of our bias binding. You just take your binding, fold it over, clip it into place, and this time I'm going to stitch right along the edge of this binding right here to secure it. You can see I just stitched right along that edge right there. I'm going to attach it by stitching right along the edge of this bias binding right here, and it will look beautiful on my chore coat. I'm going to finish up the next one, and you guys can meet me back here in the next video.